the frequency, that's the word, of which he's been injured is just, how about that, man? I was so far away.
Hit it.
Welcome to the Coach's Sons podcast. My name is Andrew.
And I'm Chris.
Today's episode is sponsored by Chinook Seedery, the best sunflower seeds in the game. If you want a snack for the ball field, for the golf course, or a nice little stroll around town, please check out Chinook Seedery. Use the Coach's Sons pod at checkout to get 10% off. Today is Friday the 17th. We are getting so close, Chris, to opening day. But you know what has to happen first? Spring training. And what kicks off spring training?
We got pitchers and catchers reporting. And I think as of today, some full squads are here.
I mean, you know, it's one of those things that used to be like every position had a day, but now people just kind of show up.
Yeah, there's been guys that have been there for like weeks.
Right.
And you're just
exactly.
like, wait, I don't even know when it started.
We're supposed to celebrate, damn it.
No, it's still awesome. Just spring training's, different. It's low key, but everybody's gearing up, right? You got bullpens being thrown, optimism at an absolute high.
Yep.
Right. Everybody's their fittest, the best shape of their lives.
Team's gonna win so many games.
Everybody's healthy. Well, most of us are healthy coming into the season, right? So it's just fresh start, right? You're hearing the patter of the glove. You got your aces on the mound. You're like, hell yeah, let me see that radar gun hit 100.
Chris, let's talk about this. What is the sweetest sound when you're going to watch baseball, other than the home run?
It's the sound of the glove. It's a
glove.
bullpen.
Absolutely.
If you're close to the bullpen and you got that
every time
nice...
the Sports Center does a spring training started, and you see a bunch of guys like throwing the baseball, but they're talking over it. I get so pissed because I'm like, I just want to hear the sound of the gloves. The ball hitting the glove is my favorite sound.
And a catcher's mitt is
absolutely.
That thud is even more.
It's so great.
However, I will argue that a spring training home run just is different. I don't know why. Like, I think it's just the empty and like how much it echoes.
Oh, the sound of it. Yeah,
I don't know.
That's fair.
Just when a bomb gets hit in spring training, it just sounds different.
Yeah,
and it's so much more exciting. It feels like it goes further. I don't know anything about any of that, but you're just like, get me a StatCast on that, or else I'm just gonna say it went 500 feet.
500 for sure every time. You said everyone was healthy.
Not so fast.
That's not true.
I'll give you one guess as to who's coming in not healthy.
Here's the deal. I know what the answer is. And the funniest comparison I've seen out there is his time played compared to, I think, was it Ted Williams or is it Mickey Mantle that served during the war?
That was Ted.
That's Ted. All right. So Ted Williams served during the war and still has played more games in the same time frame as this guy. Who is it?
It's Anthony Rendon.
Yes, it is. Womp womp.
And I'm at a point where I don't know how to feel. Like, I don't know if I should feel bad for him. And I'll get shit for that, for saying it that way. But like, if you're constantly hurt, like, you're minus all the money that he's made, but the way you live your life is impeded, right? In whatever way. If you're getting surgeries, right, like, it's not fun to just quote unquote rehab all the time.
Yeah, but part of me wonders because obviously he's caught a lot of flack for his lack of enthusiasm for I don't know a better way to put it other than that towards baseball. So it makes it sound like he doesn't really like it. So he's probably like. So my first thought is, oh, he's not preparing his body for this. And so when he has to come around and go, oh, crap, I forgot I got to play baseball, his body's not ready and it breaks down. So it's hard to feel bad for if that's the truth. But again, I'm making up a story in my head. I know that I am.
Though. That's not far-fetched.
I don't feel like it is.
A guy
right?
who's that oft injured. Now, I'm not going through his entire injury history. I don't have it pulled up. So I don't know.
It's going to take you all day to do that.
Well, yeah, he gets hurt every 6 days. But I don't know if anything is the same injury per se, right? If it's something that keeps happening or not. It feels way different. But anyway, he's going to be out for a long time. Like the first day of spring training, it was just like, oh, he needs surgery. He's out. And my point of like again, I'll say your standard of living is, even though he's getting paid, the team isn't going to pay him if he's not rehabbing, right? They're not paying him to sit home.
Right.
So he still has to be at the facility. Now, how much he's trying or whatever is another story.
Doesn't feel like a lot based on the comments he's made in the past.
Perhaps, sure. It's just a wild... and you can't... It's a slam dunk for the worst contract of all time. Right? It's just so bad. And you could point... I've said this a ton of times about the Angels, and prior to Shohei and stuff. They've paid money for people. The spending of money wasn't ever an issue for them.
Yeah.
Their whatever scouting, their decision making was just horrendous. They spent it on the wrong guy 100% of the time.
Other than Trout.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
But every free agent brought Shohei doesn't count on that. Disregard
Right.
Shohei.
Yeah.
You won him.
Yes.
You didn't.
So you didn't bring him in. Yeah.
You did. That you earned.
Well,
his,
I guess that's fair.
But you got it wrong every time. C.J. Wilson, Josh Hamilton, Rendon, those are just guys off the Pujols. Forgot about him. Right? You assumed wrong every time, and you shelled out a shit ton of money. And when it didn't work, you couldn't even get out of it because it was that bad.
Yeah.
And there's another reason. I think he's on the books for this year and next year, so they can't even get. At this point, they're gonna pay him. Just ditch him. Just let him be.
Plus, can't they just cut him?
I guess, but you still got to pay him.
Yeah.
So just get rid of him. Let him do his thing.
Which is not play baseball. Yeah.
He'll never be seen again.
Yeah. No, absolutely not.
He's gone.
I mean, he's such a pariah now with fans. I'm interested to.
Oh, he's very much disliked. Nobody likes.
Does everyone on the Angels fans despise him? Do they have I think are they okay with him making? I don't know, because he's not producing enough when he plays, right? So it's not even like, oh, we'll put up with it.
No, they hate him. He's done nothing, right? They have to hate him.
That sucks. That's
just a shit spot.
I would definitely not be a fan.
Because when it happened, you have to be excited, regardless of what anybody says about
he was demeanor. Good. No, yeah.
He was a star player at the time.
Yep.
Huge free agent signing. And sure, could the signs have been there? Yes, maybe, whatever. But
came over for the Nationals, right? I mean, he
he had a great season. Yeah. And the writing may have been on the wall, but not to this extent.
No, not this bad.
You could not like baseball, right, and treat it as a job and still produce.
Yeah, look at Jokic. You look at Jokic in the NBA.
Well, yeah, right. So, and there's certainly, he's not the only person guilty of doing that in Major League Baseball. At the end of the day, it is a job, and people do treat it that way. However, the frequency, that's the word, of which he's been injured is just, how about that, man? I was so far away.
Man, it took you a while to get there.
Wordle there, I was on book.
You know what? You got there. That's all that matters.
We figured it out. But anyway, Anthony Rendon, just a sad story, I guess, just unfinished. Just a bad setup from the get-go. And the team, the fans, the team, the player, nobody benefited from it. Well, besides Rendon.
Rendon did.
Ton of money.
Yeah, he made a shit ton of money.
He did steal a lot of money, if you want to put it that
way.
No,
and I think that's a fair, everybody got hurt except, Rendon got physically hurt, but everything else about the situation, Rendon, it doesn't matter.
It does. Two different guys.
Everything else that has happened for him has been a benefit, right? So it's hard to feel bad for him from my perspective. So who knows? Anyways, from the not surprised to the could be pretty impactful. One of the biggest names in baseball is hurt.
Giancarlo?
Yeah.
Biggest name in baseball?
Yeah, I think he's like top 15.
I love Giancarlo.
Yeah.
You know that.
Well, here's the deal.
He deserves a statue built for what he's done for the
way
Yankees
he carried the Yankees last postseason. I think he's top 15 for sure.
Top 15 what?
Like names in baseball. He may not be the top 15 player, but when it comes to name,
definitely not
name recognition is what I'm talking about. I think Stanton is a highly recognizable name. Yes.
I'm gonna.
He plays for the Yankees. He's been a stud. He hits the ball when he hits it.
Dates one of the Yankees.
Huh?
Go ahead.
So what?
It was just an aside. Go ahead.
So he's always on ESPN for how hard he hits the ball. I think he's whether he's top 15 or not.
He's not.
I don't disagree, but he's definitely a top 15 most recognizable player.
He's not, but
You're
he's up
incorrect.
there.
That's fine.
All right,
I
listen,
mean, if
it's
you
a
want to
big
fight
deal.
semantics here, I mean, he's like top
am.
20
I am
or
fighting.
15.
But yeah, with the Yankees becomes inherent name recognition, right? MVP to the Yankees, gets paid a shit ton of money.
Yeah, none of that lines up for being a top 15
Seen
person
as
in the
brittle,
league.
right? For the most part,
Right.
Doesn't play a ton of outfield. They've been trying to sneak him out there. Doesn't
Not a good
usually
idea.
work. Yeah, usually backfires. But he now has double elbow tendinitis, meaning like both.
Is that both elbows or two sides of the elbow?
I'm gonna say, but I'm going with both. But I'm under the impression that it's both.
I like the idea of it being like one elbow and he has
Just
it on two sides. Yeah.
Yeah, it just hurts everywhere.
It just
So I
double
don't.
tendonitis. Yeah, that's
And he's obviously going to be slow coming along this spring training, but I'm having difficulty deciphering the difference in injuries, right? Shohei, UCL, gets surgery, and goes 50-50 from the plate. Stanton can't swing a bat with elbow
It
tendon.
is-
And it is early. It's spring training. That's fine. You don't
Yeah.
want him to swing. You don't want him to swing. But is he just hampered? Is this just something that like, he's done?
I almost feel like this is because I get tendonitis occasionally in the elbows, but that's when I'm overactive and you're good after like a few days. You know, so I think it's just one of those things they have to report it now because the season's officially on
Maybe
the
he's got
way.
tennis elbow. Maybe he golfed a little too much.
Yeah, he golfed too
How far do you think he hits a golf ball?
Fucking 500 yards.
Yo, I need him at a Top Golf, just
100%.
breaking windows over the.
I mean, quite honestly, Chris, it could be he had taken a lot of time off, and then when he got to camp, he swung too many times, in the cage, and now he's like, "Oh shit, everything hurts."
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't even know.
That's the thing. He's old enough that if you swing too much, it's gonna hurt. You know what I mean? So maybe that's what it was. Who knows? But
it's not a good start. Like, he
It's a
might
bad
not
start.
be ready for opening day.
yeah, that's a bad start.
And then the other injury, fresh out of beginning of camp, that actually came out today. Did you tell everybody what day today is?
Yeah, I did.
Today's-
I did
okay.
the beginning.
Anyway,
You're just
it's-
not paying attention. That's fine.
That's fair. I wasn't listening. I blacked out. But Frankie Montas, Mets big signing, right? Big in the sense that they spent a lot of money for him. High lat strain, 6 to 8 weeks.
That's
not great.
Dude, like a high lat strain sounds
I've never heard
so
of a high lat
uncomfortable.
strain.
Well, I mean, your lat. I mean, it's a back strain, but that's
Understood, but
so.
That lat strain is usually the.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the difference between high versus low. I don't know enough, but that just feels like, oh, I'm not going to be able to sleep well for the next, 6 to 8 weeks because you just can't get comfortable when the backs hurt like that. That sucks.
Maybe,
That
let alone
sucks.
throwing, right? I
Right.
presume it's on his throwing side. He's just shut down. He's not.
No, yeah,
There's no
yeah.
rehab for this. It's just we'll see. So he might.
You can't fuck around with the back.
So he might just get extended out in terms of the injury list. So now enter whomever to try and Clay Holmes probably now has an actual spot in that rotation.
Agreed.
And now a young guy's going to have to step up. They have some prospects potentially, but it's already a hit that I don't know. That
I
they
will
can
say,
afford.
I mean, I don't want to call it too early, but the Mets curse is real.
he hasn't
Look
pitched
out.
very much. I think last year was one of the longest runs he's had without an injury, and I don't even think he was completely healthy last year.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Was he? He pitched 30 games last year.
Yeah,
for the Reds.
that's
So
a
that
full
was
season.
his big one. But other than that, I'm trying to look it up and talk, and I don't do well with that.
Yeah.
My mouth's probably on the side. You're gonna yell at me about that.
I'll yell at you later. For
2023 pitched a game,
a game.
one singular. 27 starts in 2022.
Not bad.
Yeah, like he pitched 11 in 2020. Now that's years ago, but
Yep.
he has that sort of injury history.
Yep.
And when he's injured, he doesn't pitch well at all.
Yeah.
Right? Like Yankees, he pitched 8 games in 2022. He had a 6.35 ERA. So he's not a guy that's going to he can't tough it out. He can't fight through it and still give you this guy.
Yeah.
Let him sit it out. Let him get healthy, and hopefully you get something you were wanting.
Right. And again, this is us not doing our research, but I do wonder if the back is something he continues to struggle with because back injuries are lingering, right? That's not something that you get over and you're past it. Like that's something that haunts you for the rest of your life. So it wouldn't be surprising if shoulder. Shoulder to lat. That
You read one book and now you're a fucking expert on the arm and pitching mechanics. Kick rocks, dude. The guy.
Sorry, you don't know anything about muscular formation, Chris.
And you know everything. You're Dr. James Andrews'
said
protege.
muscular formation, like that's a real thing.
The arm, and he fucking knows everything.
I wasn't gonna reference it, but fine, whatever.
You have referenced it 12 times.
I know,
right? Passon wrote it. I know all about it just from you. I can tell you the first 6 pages, word for word.
Goodness, you're feisty today, Chris.
You're pissing me off already.
I didn't do anything wrong.
Early. All right, those are the injuries as of right now.
That's going to change.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's going to be a lot more that come, and I hope everybody stays as healthy as possible.
Right.
But there's probably going to be some backbreaking news dealt to some teams here in the coming weeks. Let's go to some. We'll finish this part with good news. What else? Marcus Stroman. You see any of this nonsense? I actually have it listed. Marcus Stroman shit. Marcus Stroman shit.
I mean, I feel like it's just Stroman doing Stroman things, right? Like, I mean, here's the
guy's
deal.
Proud. If there's one thing, if he's got a fault, it's that he is a proud individual. Stubborn might be a good word.
Yeah, I mean, so we'll talk about the other incident where this is happening too. But I mean, it's just guys going, no, that's my spot. I've earned it.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep it, right? So I mean, it's good on them for being like, no, this is what I do best, and I'm gonna show that that's what I do best. Well, I guess let me say that differently. If that's their intent, I'm down, right? Like, no, I'm going to be a starting pitcher because I'm that good. Not like, you can't take that away from me, because if it comes across whiny, I'm not all about it. But if you're just saying, no, I'm going to win this spot, that's what baseball, that's what sports are, especially like growing up. Like trying out for JV and for like travel ball, you have to earn that shit, right? You don't just get it unless you're a coach's son. High five. Then you don't earn it. But like everybody else has to earn their spot. And so I think that some of the pros lose sight of that. And when it comes off as whiny and a little bitchy, I don't care. Like, sorry, buddy, you're going to have to prove it. But for some of them, they're like, no, this is what I do. I'm going to show you guys that. Then I'm all about it. I think that makes a lot of sense. But I mean, look, the Yankees rotation's deep. Stroman's going to have to show that he deserves to be a part of it.
He's definitely on the outside looking in.
Yes, he is, 100%. Right, and that's, and he knows that. That's why he's so defensive about it, right? There's no way he doesn't know that he is on the hot seat. Maybe hot seat's the wrong word. I mean, like the Yankees
the outside, he's on the outs.
He's going to be a middleman.
I think he signed a 2-year deal. He pitched. He started 29 games last year, threw 154 innings. He's an arm. Somebody can use him.
Yeah.
But as far as the Yankees go, we're going to do our season previews. But I looked up a projection from MLB.com, and it's Cole, Fried, Rodon, Luis Heel, and then Clark Schmidt.
Yeah.
And with Stroman listed as 6, they are not going to go to a 6-man rotation. I doubt it.
Yeah, they're not the Dodgers.
I don't think Cole and Fried are those types of guys that need that. Maybe they are. Maybe they make that decision, but I doubt it. So he's on the outs.
God,
and to your point,
that starting pitching, oof. Sorry, go ahead.
There is that level of, is he confident? Yes, and he should be. I know he has like a brand all based on his height because he's relatively short, all things considered. He's 5'7", so he's on the shorter end of the spectrum, especially from a pitcher.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
So he feels he has to do a little bit more.
It's called Napoleon syndrome.
Yeah, he just sure.
Yeah,
you're right. But he feels he has to do a little bit more, show out a little bit more, and it does stink. It as a prideful person who's done something that whole life and, pitched to the caliber that he has in the past, like he's no slouch career-wise.
Yeah.
So when it's coming to where like, hey, man, you're no longer a starting. He was the ace of the Blue Jays staff for how long?
Yeah.
And now it's, hey, man, like, you might not have a spot.
I mean, that happens
in the bullpen.
Yeah.
No, it happens.
In every athlete's career, you're like, hey, guess what? Your career, you've taken that turn
differently.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he's right I'm not saying he's right for the way he's handling it, but if he wants to start, he needs to ask out. And I don't know if they're gonna do that because he is good depth.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
and also too,
pitching depth.
if you look at Fried and Cole's track record, they have not. Both of them have not really pitched full seasons in the last couple of years.
Cole has.
I mean, Cole just did, but he had the season prior where he didn't. Fried has been on and off.
Fried.
Yeah, Fried has been on and off the IR for the last 3 years, I want to say. So Fried is not
IR.
Huh? IL, sorry. Yeah. So he's been on the IL for on and off of it for the last 3 years. So it's not been very consistent.
You had it flipped. So Cole actually threw 30, 33, 33 from 21 to 23 and threw 17 last year.
So
after he got hurt, I think he had Tommy John or something.
Yes, yeah, it makes sense.
He's been
because he got it at like the end of the year last year, right? And then didn't start pitching until halfway through the season. Or something like that. Yeah, okay, yeah, gotcha.
There was a point in which he was injured. I don't remember when it started, but it definitely wasn't 2023. Good Lord. He was incredible.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, yeah, he was incredible.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they don't trade him. However, it wouldn't surprise me if they traded him and just said, get the hell out of here. We'll find somebody else. Because they have some prospects that they could call up.
Doesn't Verdugo want to get out of there too?
Verdugo's a free agent.
Oh, he's a free agent. Oh, okay.
He has not signed yet. He's like one of the last standing.
For some reason,
agents.
I thought he still had a year there because he was like, I can't wait to get out of here and grow my beard out.
No, he's done. I mean, if you want to speak about that, Devin Williams had to shave his beard. People were not happy about that.
Yes, the Yankees. Everybody does it. Do you remember when Johnny Damon joined the Yankees?
What a Benedict Arnold.
Oh, I know. I hate it. I just watched The Comeback.
Okay.
And by the way, spectacular. If you haven't watched this on Netflix.
Right?
Yep. And it talks about that spectacular season, couple seasons that the Red Sox and Yankees had going back and forth. Johnny Damon was a part of that with the Red Sox. They don't talk about how he left afterwards, but I mean, he had the long, glorious hair, the big beard, and then like he shaved his beard off and cut his hair short. And I was like, who is that guy? I mean, that's just the quote Yankee way. And yeah, I mean, people are upset about it, but I mean, they shouldn't be surprised.
I'm not saying Devin Williams was upset. I'm saying fans were like, "Damn, Devin Williams had to shave his beard." Like,
yeah, of course he did.
Like everybody ever has.
Yeah.
So whatever. I was just calling it out. What other news? I'm torn on how big of a deal this is. Mike Trout is going to play right field, more right field.
So, okay. Two schools of thought. My first thought is like, who's going to play center? I don't know who plays for the Angels. I was like, who's going to replace him?
I've got projected lineups.
Okay, who's center field?
No,
then?
go ahead. You keep talking.
Oh, okay. And so the other thing is, it makes sense for longevity's sake, right? Because center
he doesn't
field,
have to patrol so
he
much.
doesn't patrol so much of the field. He's not at higher risk, of hurting himself. The throws are not as long in right field compared to center field. So I think it makes sense. Hopefully it's going to help Acuna in the long run once he finally comes back, if he stops being a psychopath on the bases. So it makes sense from a longevity standpoint. I get it, but I don't know who's playing center. What do you got?
Listed in this lineup is Joe Adell, but I guess it's going to just be matchups. They have Mickey Moniak. I knew that. And they have Taylor Ward in the outfield. Apparently he could play some center too.
They need to get Verdugo over there, right?
He won't play. He can't play center, can he?
I thought he played center.
Not recently. Not in a while.
Oh crap. Okay, I thought he was playing center.
Anyway.
He played center with the Red Sox. That's what it was. Okay, gotcha.
He definitely played some center field.
Yeah, okay.
In the last couple of years, I don't think so.
Sorry.
But
all right.
Yeah, I guess that's going to allow him to. I'm going to say hang around more, but when he.
I mean, really, if they want to make that move, he should just DH. But I don't think
he signed Soler.
That's right.
So
yeah.
He's that spot's ocupado.
Oh, it definitely is. And here's the deal: Trout's young-ish, and he wants to play. So he won't go to DH till he absolutely has to.
Yeah, and so hopefully that does help. I guess that's going to remain to be seen. Something to keep an eye on. If the toll of, and that's going to be a hell of a case study for practically everybody.
Agreed.
Right? You brought up Acuna, but that's a big deal, right? If Trout can remain healthy this year, the only thing maybe you could point to is, we moved him to right field. Beyond him not stealing as much or whatever, and I know his steals have kind of gone down. He was aggressive at the beginning of last year, which was odd for him. But I think it's going to be an interesting case study if he can stay healthy because, A, the game of baseball is going to be better for it.
Yes.
And B, he might go somewhere else.
No. Like,
There's hope, though.
I mean, I hope he does, but I just don't feel like he has any want to.
Hope is a dangerous
He just likes
thing.
playing baseball. He doesn't care to win. He just wants to play baseball. It's so strange. His attitude is just so
I want a
strange.
healthy full season out of him. So if him going, I don't care where the guy plays. He
Yeah.
can play third base for all I give a shit.
I agree.
As long as he's on the field, if he's giving
We
me
wanna see him.
140 games, I'll
Yeah.
take 100. Let me check the maximum. How many games? What do you think the maximum amount of games over the last 5 seasons has been from him?
5 seasons?
Over the last 5 seasons. Oh boy.
It's low, right? Okay. Can you give me a hint?
So this is since 2020. What year was COVID?
2020
was COVID.
I mean, 2019, 2020 was basically the COVID year.
2020 was COVID. So the last 4 years, the most amount of games he's played is 119, which is great. He has a 6.2 WAR. You give me, I need a little more than that. I need 130.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, I want my superstars playing 130.
But
Yeah,
in 2021 he played 36, 2023 82, and last year 29.
man.
So he's just not on the field.
No, he's not.
And
That
in
sucks.
his prime, obviously his prime is whenever he turns it on, whenever he plays a long time. But 157, 157, 159, 159. Those days are long gone.
Yeah.
I think I'm good with 130 if he could get.
Yeah,
me there.
I mean, I think Angels fans would love to see 130 out of Trout at this point. So,
Hell, I think they'll take.
is
100.
he playing more than?
Yes.
Okay.
No,
I'd be
wait.
interested. Like Rendon's
Wait.
probably. I mean, 85. Like those are.
Yeah. No. Rendon hasn't had over 50. Sorry, he had 58 in 2021.
You're
and
kidding.
then 47. I lied. I did lie. 58, 47, 43, 57.
You can't see my face, everyone. My jaw's wide open. I knew it was bad, but Jesus,
He
like
played. What's that?
God.
110.
man. Okay, I'm angry for Angels fans.
He played 260 games over 5 seasons.
That's gross.
And when he left the Nats, he played 146 games, had a 7.1 WAR. He was incredible. He had over 1,000 OPS.
Oof. Okay. Anyways, let's
Sorry,
move on from
now-
that guy.
all right,
Yeah, yeah.
But Trout, right field, positive.
Yeah, I
like
think it's a positive for sure. And like you said, I'm with you. I wanted to see that guy play 130 plus games. That'd be awesome. Now, the only other thing from before we get into deals and signings and stuff, there was one more thing that I care deeply about. Also, part-time producer Doug Irwin is a big fan of this development, but Nike, thank God, is getting the shit together with the
Bullying
jerseys.
works.
Holy cow!
Bullying works. Don't let anybody tell you
Yeah.
it doesn't. It works.
The numbers are bigger. The names are bigger. I still think they said the fabric of the see-throughness of white pants are probably still going to be
Don't
just
care. I
as
go
bad.
past that.
Yeah, I don't care about that. However, the jerseys are looking good again. Thank God, because I didn't buy a damn thing last year because they just looked so awful, and I'm excited to be excited about jerseys again. So, we'll see if the color matches, because I know they had a lot of problems with color matching too last year. So, there's still a lot to be determined, but based off what we've seen so far, all the mock-ups, it looks like we're finally getting back to the norm. So that's exciting.
That's great. It's a big deal in spheres of just buying merch and
Yeah,
stuff.
absolutely.
You didn't even, like you said, you didn't even look at it. You're
No,
I
no,
don't want.
I
I
don't-
will not buy a jersey until they fix it. They fixed it. Maybe you get me.
Yep.
I don't know.
I'll be interested to see every team once the season starts, because they can say a lot of shit and they'll show a bunch of spring training stuff, but until I see the real unis, I'm not going to be that excited.
Sure, but everything looks
Everything looks promising.
Everything looked bad for spring training and continued to be
Hell
bad.
yes.
So,
Yes.
if you remember this time last year, this was a point of what are they doing?
What is
happening?
Yeah.
How can you let this happen? So I think we're back to neutral.
I hope so.
And it's
Yeah.
it's almost a non-story. It was that day, hey, check it out. There'll be a couple that pop up of hey, everything looks good, but it's better that it's a non-story. I don't want to talk about it.
No, I
they
don't
should just
either.
be
Yeah.
normal. You don't
Yeah.
talk about football. The only thing we should talk about is the colorways, right? How was the design of the City Connect?
The City
Or
Connects, yeah.
What's their alternate look like this year? That's what we should be talking about.
Yep.
Not Yo, I need a magnifying glass to see the goddamn name on the back of the
It was
jersey.
so bad. It was disgusting. So I'm glad
But
we're past
positive spin, no longer negative. Jerseys are fixed as of right
it.
now.
As of right now, let's move on.
Who else should be positive right now, though? That was a bad transition. I gave it hell.
Okay. You gave it a try.
I did.
I'm so proud
Transition isn't my game.
of you. Okay, that's fair. All right, so sorry. So who should be excited right now? Crickets. Red Sox fans. Okay, gotcha. I thought that's where you were going. Okay.
So
Big name.
Alex Bregman
Oh my goodness.
in the Scott Boras of Scott Boras moves. I know you hate Boras. However,
Hate him.
most of these have worked out for his clients thus far. In the grand scheme of things, they've worked.
Okay.
He gets 3 years, $120 million, $40 million a year. There's deferrals and all that bullshit.
Right.
And I don't care about that.
He gets to opt out a lot too, right?
2 opt-outs, so he can opt out after every season.
Wow.
It's a big deal. That's a huge signing. The Tigers were in, so I'm stunned that they were that in on him. I think I did not do it. That sucks. They offered him a lot of money.
Yeah.
But it was not $40 million
Well, the
a year.
Astros offered him a decent amount too, from what I understand.
Tigers were more than the Astros.
Okay, wow.
But
good for the
I
Tigers.
think longer. So they were doing 7 years and like 100. I forget the number, but it was like 30-ish million a year.
Yeah.
Maybe in the like high 20s. But he wanted he got a ton of cash. He got $40 million, and he could, if he stinks, he could opt in, and there he is.
Yep.
If he does really good, he could opt out and go sign another deal.
Yeah.
I guess. And that's what I was saying. The Boras thing, it's kind of worked thus far. When Bregman signed, all signs indicated that he's expected to play second base. Cool. That makes sense.
Yeah, because Devers plays third.
Correct. According to the man himself.
Yeah, you guys can't see, but I have a Devers bobblehead over here.
Because we do have one.
Yes, we have a Devers bobblehead.
So the rumor was that he's going to play second.
Yep.
And that makes sense in the big league scheme of things. However, they've since come out and are now saying, we don't know. Like, nothing is set in stone. And it's like, I'm not sure how this is going to go. So now, because of that, there was a press conference today, Monday, I think. I saw it today, that Devers was asked about not playing third base. And there was some, I'd give a little slight to some language barrier, a little bit. However, the feeling, the sentiment was, I am the third baseman. I am not here to DH.
Yeah, he said I play third.
I play third.
I will say there is definitely a language barrier because some of his answers felt short and quick, but I think it's just because he understood that's the quickest way to answer the question, right? But going back to the Stroman thing, Devers is kind of being like, no, I'm a third baseman. That's what I'm going to do. But I felt like his was just like, and because of the language gap, like, no, I play third. I'm gonna play third because I'm the best player to play third. That's how I interpreted it. But yeah, I mean, it it could be interesting.
if it's taken literally, word for word, there's gonna be some problems in Beantown.
I mean, I think it's interesting. It's a good problem to have if you're the Red Sox.
Yes.
Right.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Well, I mean, yeah, that's fair. If they both act like prima donnas, it could be problematic. But I think that, the Red Sox are better now. I think they have.
Oh, they're good. This signing sends them way, way up.
Look,
and
we were
beyond.
already.
Bregman is no bum.
I was already talking about the Red Sox being a part of the conversation. Getting Bregman, they could finish anywhere from 4th to 1st in this division, and I would not be surprised. And to be honest with you, and this is just a rumor mill. There's been talks that they're even looking at C's, by the way.
Oh yeah, they're not out.
If they land C's too, like the Red Sox are a legitimate contender at that point because the team that was a part of the conversation last year was not the team we see now. They've added so many pieces. So, I mean, if I'm a Red Sox fan, I'm getting pretty jacked. So, I mean, good for them. I hope that, to be honest with you, I think for Bregman's sake, he should just play second anyways. Like, he's getting older. Go play second. Go figure it out.
The issue, what a lot of inside Boston people are saying and coming out with is, Bregman's a better defender. Devers is just mediocre at best defensively.
Okay, that's fair.
And Bregman's better there. Gold Glover, all that.
Yep.
They are super, super high on prospect Christian Campbell. He was here in Greenville probably soon because he's flown through the minors. But they are super high on him. He's sort of a utility type guy. But if he were to come up, he would be second base. There is rumor he could be the starting second baseman opening day.
Okay, yeah.
Then they have Roman Anthony, who's the number one prospect in baseball.
Yeah, isn't he an outfielder, though?
Yes.
Okay.
But that is Christian Campbell also plays outfield, but the idea is Anthony would be the outfielder. Campbell comes to the infield.
Makes sense.
Bregman goes to the best lineup is probably just what I just said. Campbell at second, Bregman at third, Roman Anthony at one of the outfield, and Devers at DH.
Yeah.
Man for man, on paper, that is the lineup. But if you're going to be hurting feelings all along the way, not going to be great for the locker room. And again, maybe it was misconstrued. Maybe you just got to talk to him a little bit and everything gets straightened out. But as it sits, it doesn't sound all peachy.
Yeah.
And again, maybe Christ averted, put Bregman at second, and make or let Campbell and Anthony play their way up.
Campbell's got to figure it out.
See what happens. I think that's a solution too, but then you don't really have. You have Yoshida to DH. They're trying to get rid of him. So I don't. I think they have another move left in them.
I agree.
And if it is Cease, then we're back to Yankees Red Sox of old.
Yeah.
And
agreed.
You can't sleep on the Orioles, and we'll get into all that.
I mean, the Blue Jays have
gotten better.
But sure. I mean, yeah.
Cease with that lineup as it sits, and as I'm looking at the lineup now, it's not daunting, right? It is daunting, but Duran leading off, Devers, Bregman, Casas, who he could be a 30-plus home run guy. He could be a weirdo that hangs out in the on-deck circle when he's hurt. The vibes are weird on him. I like him, but I want to like him.
Weird.
But I'm torn. Trevor Story's their shortstop.
Yep.
What do you get from him?
Right.
He's been hurt so long.
Yeah, he has.
I don't know. Catcher is Connor Wong, and then they have Abreu and Rafaela set up for right and center.
Yeah, Rafaela's good, dude.
Correct. So is Abreu.
Yeah.
But so is Roman Anthony.
Yeah.
So
number one prospect.
So is Christian Campbell.
Yeah.
Like these guys. I think technically he's not the number one prospect because Roki Sasaki is.
That's
he got
dumb.
Stiffed.
Yeah, it's
for
dumb.
sure.
Yeah.
But it's a A+ move. You make that move and figure it out later. So I'm all in support of getting Bregman. Bregman's on your team. Now it's time to figure it out.
Yeah. Okay. Read off that starting pitching lineup, by the way.
Crochet, Hawk, Bello is ranked third. Bueller, Giolito, Cutter Crawford.
You forgot people that they added.
Who did I forget? I said Crochet.
Crochet.
Yeah.
Oh, you did say Bueller. Never mind. Okay.
Who else did I?
No, sorry. You're right.
We're good. They added Crochet and Bueller.
Okay, sorry. I missed Bueller. My bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have him listed as fourth. Whatever.
Okay, so you add Cease to that, and you move everybody down one, and Bueller becomes your 5.
Yeah, you're a problem.
Yeah,
and then you're
huge problem.
But you're giving up probably Cutter Crawford anyway. Your 6 is Giolito.
Jeez,
I like. But
yeah,
I'm not sure.
Look, I love that. I've already said it. I've said it in the past. The Major League Baseball is better when the Red Sox are good. I love this. I think it's awesome. So, kudos to you, Red Sox. Congrats, Red Sox fans, and hopefully you will get rewarded for it. All right, the other big name that dropped.
This was like shortly after we released last week, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. It was pretty immediately afterwards. Pete Alonso has re-signed.
He's returned.
I mean, it's not a surprise. I'm annoyed, but
another Boris deal.
Yeah,
2
another
years,
Boris deal.
$54 million. He could opt out after the first year.
God, all those opt out crap.
But it's not a bad deal
for the Mets.
For anybody.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
$27 million for a top 5 first baseman.
Okay. No, I'm.
You're trying to think. He's not better than Freddie.
Nope, not better than Freddie. Not better than Matt. Not better than
Matt
Olsen.
Okay.
Not better than Harper. Not better than Vlad.
Yeah, there he is. Okay, right there.
There's more. I'll figure it out. Anyways, yeah, sure. I'll give you top 10.
He might be better than Olsen, but anyway.
Shut the fuck up. No, he is not.
Might be.
No, he's absolutely not.
All right, he had way less WAR.
Yes,
Anyway.
thank you so much.
All
Jesus. How dare you besmirch Matt Olson, who has won you so many pennants on Major League The Show. Major Baseball The Show.
He's incredible. His swing's so good. I hope they made him as good
You
this year.
son of a bitch.
He's so good. All right. But Alonso going back to the Mets, that sets up their lineup again.
Yeah, Mets. I mean, the Mets lineup is scary.
Right,
Like, there's
right in the
no
heart
way
of
to get
their
around
order. It's weird because we're talking about a guy who was always there, right? He never left.
Yeah.
But them adding him to protect Soto, it's way different than Aaron Judge. Don't get me wrong.
Yep.
But Jesus Christmas. Alonso's going to have a ton of opportunity to drive in runs.
Agreed.
Lindor, Soto, on base in front of Alonso. I feel like they need one more. And I'm looking at their lineup. It's Nimmo 4.
I would say Nimmo.
Vientos 5.
No.
Okay, but that's it. That's
Yeah,
it.
Nimmo's. Yeah.
They need another guy.
I don't disagree with that. Because Nimmo's not enough.
Maybe it's the other way around. Maybe it's because if you remember, my argument for the Yankees was pitch around Soto, pitch around Judge, and then
Then you're
figure
good.
it
Yeah.
out. I'll
I mean,
take out
it's
Rizzo.
the same thing. It's the same
but
thing.
you pitch around Lindor, you pitch around Soto. You can't really pitch around
That's fair.
a lot. You can't put
Yeah.
3 guys on.
No, you can't put 3 guys on.
Maybe you can. We'll see.
But I mean, like, I don't think. I mean, Alonso's strikeout rate's pretty high. There's a lot of swing and misses, like any power hitter nowadays. So I mean, he's of the 3 players, he's the one I would want to face the most.
Whoa, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I'll put them in a certain situation. If I got a matchup, give me Alonso.
Yeah,
he's hitting
100%.
240.
Yeah,
he's not
yeah.
Aaron Judge, but he's way better than whoever the 4th option. Well, in the postseason, Stanton, he was not better than him.
No, he was
But
not. No.
right, so if he plays to that level, if he's going to hit home runs at that rate and play like that, the Mets are problematic.
They're definitely a problem. And by the way, Pete had a good postseason.
Yeah. He did.
So I mean, good on him. I'm glad. I mean, congrats on getting paid. I hate it obviously because it makes the Mets dangerous.
Everybody around just getting
I mean,
better.
they were already dangerous, but this is like definitely putting them in part of the conversation. The NL East is going to be a fucking guns race, man. It's like the Braves, if we're healthy, the Phillies and the Mets all have unbelievable talent on their
And
teams.
we have the Marlins.
And then the Marlins just bottom dwelling over there. So, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like, I'm not surprised. Just kind of like, damn it.
I think it was a good deal. It, had to bring him back. I wanted him. And if you
of
said
course.
you didn't want him, you're out of your goddamn mind because he is a star first baseman / DH. He would have been fine.
Yep.
The other big deal, everything else is relatively small.
Yep.
Nick Pivetta, who went way too long without being signed.
Agreed.
Padres, crazy ass deal. So 4 years, $55 million. Opt-outs after years 2 and 3. He gets paid a $3 million signing bonus and a $1 million salary in 2025, $19 million in 26, $14 million in 27, and $18 in 28.
Interesting.
Why doesn't anybody give a shit that the Padres deferred money?
Just keeps getting better and better for him.
But why is nobody boycotting baseball because of the Padres?
Because it's a small number. Shohei's was
better
not.
players.
I mean, I don't disagree with that. But I mean, this also makes me think they're obviously moving Cease because if they sign Pivetta, they're like, okay, now we can get rid of Cease.
Obviously, more likely.
More likely. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, I don't know. I for those, I'm wearing a Padres hat. I actually go to San Diego next week, so I'm wearing this hat in preparation for doing that. And I feel bad for all those fans out there because that situation doesn't feel good. And I mean, I hope that move is them trying to be competitive again and they don't trade Cease, to be quite honest with you. But feels like that's happening.
It's been him and King, they're claiming. Cease feels more likely because Cease
Agreed.
is the final year, I think.
Yes, yeah.
And King has an additional year.
God, King's so good, too,
I
man.
agreed. So at the top of the rotation, it's him and Cease and King. Like, that's solid. But based on all it seems like writing's on the wall. It feels like
I don't
Cease is gonna
disagree.
get moved.
Cease has been
But
a part of a lot of
We went
conversation.
through this same bullshit with Cease a year and a half
That's
ago.
true. Yeah. He's probably a Boris
but
guy.
he was going, but he was going to get moved because it was the White Sox. And but the Padres don't have to move him.
Yeah.
They're
No,
not
they
required.
don't. They really don't have to move him. So unless they're selling out and trying to build their farm system up, which I don't think they are, then we should be in a good place. So
Speaking of the Padres, I don't know enough to speak anymore on that situation.
Yeah, I don't either.
The brothers were named. I don't even know the word. The league owners said that they're in charge, but like legally, I don't think that. So I am so above my conceptualization of the situation. What a fucking word. See, I played off being dumb.
I saw you like your brain tick through that, and then you said it, and you look so proud.
I played off being dumb with a 30 point Scrabble word. You know what I mean? But I can't comprehend exactly what's going on there. I don't know, so I don't want to be ignorant and just throw out words anymore. I should. We're on a podcast.
Yeah,
but
it's all about words.
That's not my game. That's way more different. I still think they're two assholes anyway.
Yeah.
So I'll say that.
I mean,
whether or not legally they're rightfully the owners, I have no goddamn clue.
There's a lot of owners that are assholes, and it feels like this is extra assholey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So hopefully that gets sorted out and the right owners become the right owners because they actually give a shit about the team and success and not just about making money.
Yep. So time will tell.
Time will tell. And you mentioned the White Sox. Speaking of the White Sox, they had a huge signing.
Our boy Joey Gallo. He can't quit the league. We can't quit him. I don't know. He shouldn't make the team. He shouldn't be on the roster.
I'm just so surprised. I mean, he can make if there's a roster he can make, it's the White Sox.
No, I agree. But
Like the
just
White
let
Sox
somebody
and the
else-
Marlins are both teams that he could make.
But just let
and maybe
some-
the A's. No, not
just
the
let
A's.
somebody else play.
I mean, I
man.
don't disagree. Like he's just a way. I mean,
Like,
no,
I don't
that's
even
rude.
care if he.
He's a warm body for sure.
It doesn't even matter if he's taking the league minimum. He's going to do nothing for you. It's the old national strategy, which I don't think they're deploying that this year. Hasn't seemed of just signing a guy for league minimum, hoping he plays well, and be like, all right, man, see you later.
Yeah,
Trading
trade him
for
out.
like a 40th prospect from a team,
Right.
For not at the deadline. It's dumb. I don't even know why I thought it was funny to mention Joey Gallo, but I'm done talking. About Joey Gallo.
He's a player that our friend circle talks about a lot,
Yeah.
but nobody else does.
That's it. The Guardians. Anytime the Guardians are going to sign a pitcher, my ears kind of perk up.
Yep.
John Means, who's been out for the last probably 2 seasons, year and a half ish with Tommy John and preceding injuries. I think he just signed a minor league deal. And Jacob Junis, $4.5 million. So that's a pretty coming from the Guardians. That seems
that's pretty big.
substantial.
Yep.
But again, anytime they're going to sign some sort of pitching, I feel like they've got a pretty big gap on the rest of the league in terms of what's going on. There are a couple other teams I feel the same way. But if they're giving you an extra look and they want to see you come in, they see something, they know something, they could fix something. Because if there's a rotation full of middle of the road guys that nobody knows that are actually really good, it's the Cleveland Guardians.
No, I'm with you. It's definitely one of those things like, hey, that pitching scout team is like special, and they know how to identify talent. I mean, I think with Means, it's just hey, if this guy shakes out, this is a huge win, and I think that makes a lot of sense. And then I think Junis is just a depth.
That's fine,
move,
but that's
you know what
a
I mean?
team like that.
And
They need to do that.
I completely agree. So I'm with you. It's one of those things I'm like, that's interesting. And it's only interesting because it's the Guardians. If these guys sign with other teams, I'm going to be like, eh. You know what I mean?
If he went to the Diamondbacks, should be like, all right,
Sure. Yeah.
like,
The Giants. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna try and latch on, but the Guardians are like, oh, like they can do something.
okay.
But a la like Matt Boyd,
Right.
he has talking about somebody who hasn't played very much. A total of 51-ish innings since 2022. That's 3 seasons.
That's not a lot.
Yeah, the guy's just been hurt.
Yep.
You know, he had a very good season in there with Baltimore and then got hurt and just hasn't been the same. So here's hoping. I know RDT likes him. I think overall Means is a good guy.
Yep.
So kudos to him. I know the Guardians know their shit. Speaking of AL Central,
Uh-huh.
the Royals just keep doing Royals things. They extend Cole Reagan's
As they
3
should.
years, $13.25 million, which
Smart.
is an absolute
Steal. Unbelievable
but
steal.
it's buying out his 2 years of arbitration.
Yeah.
So Reagan's is making money. It doesn't seem like a lot, but he is. If he went to arbitration, he wouldn't get shit just based on what's going on. But the dude had 200 plus Ks last year.
I mean, he was so good last year. I think that's a great move for their future.
223 and 186.
Yeah,
The
he was
fact
good.
that they got him in that Chapman trade was absurd.
Mm-hmm.
And he's 27 years old. I'm looking at it, so don't
Look at
he
you.
just turned 27.
Yeah.
Actually. But
A young 27, if you were.
he's their one. He's their guy.
I agreed. Yeah.
He's their ace. And to lock him in for 3 years at that price, he's happy. Everybody's happy. Bobby Witt already got his money.
Yep.
Vinny's hanging around. Like they've got something going. They're still, I forget all the signings at this point that they've made and deals that they've done, but
The Royals
they're in prime position to make another run.
I agree.
And I think we're gonna have to be on their side this time. We're gonna see.
I will not bet against them again. How about that?
I won't bet against
I
them.
will
I'll
not,
do a no bet.
because we doubled down and that did not end well at all. So I think that's really most of the biggest names that are out there when it comes to signings and things that have happened in Major League Baseball. So before we wrap it up, there's two things I want to kind of cover. One of them is college baseball. And the way I want to cover it is help. Like I want to be more interested, and Chris and I were texting about it. Like the closest thing I am to college baseball is there's a YouTube channel called the Bat Bros, and they do bat reviews. Right, so every year that like all the new baseball bats come out and they review them, and that's entertaining as hell for me. I'm like, oh, so this is what they're swinging now.
Yeah.
And that's all I know really about college baseball, because college baseball is such a long and I don't want to say complicated, but it's hard to follow, right?
There's so much going on.
There's so many games,
There's a
and
stud here. There's a stud there.
I don't even know when they play their games most of the time. Like I feel like they're doing it in the week, like at bad times when I'm working. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know enough.
Yes, it started. This weekend was huge. There was a lot of events. We'll call them events, but like tournaments, invitationals, shit like that.
Yeah.
I think the answer. I think we need somebody to come on and talk us into it, because it seems fun. And I want to like it. I want to be in.
Well,
so one thing that sucked is I want to follow Clemson closer because they're top 10. They've got first round talent in Camarella.
Sure.
He's going to go top 10.
Yes.
And they have an ace, Aiden, supposedly it's pronounced Kanak.
Okay.
He's a sophomore, stud. So,
and Chris, tell people why it's so easy for you to follow Clemson.
Oh, I live nearby.
Yes.
we live right down the road. They're likable. Bakich, the coach or manager, Eric Bakich, great dude, has been huge in the recruiting scene, welcoming in Savannah Bananas, trying to get beer introduced at the stadium, just bringing life to college baseball, which I otherwise didn't feel like it was there. One of the funny call-outs I had is he was suspended for the first 2 games. I forgot about this. So he was just intertwined with the radio broadcast in the hotel room in Texas while the game was going on because he couldn't coach. He was just, and the pitching coach got suspended too. He was just hanging out at his home in Greenville.
Oh, wow.
So like Bakich got suspended. He's back now.
Okay.
Everything's good. He served his time, but it was crazy. But to answer your question, college baseball is biggest on the weekend. So Friday through Sunday.
Okay.
And that's the big series, right? Those are the things you're gearing up for.
Gotcha.
Because you'll hear a lot of weekend rotation.
Okay.
And that's your week.
Okay.
If you're starting Friday night, you're the guy.
Yep.
Right? That's your 1, 2, 3. Then you do play some games during the week, some non-conference, some conference. And there'll be like a Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, Wednesday, shit that. Those still matter, obviously, but those are a little less. You'll see a lot more bullpen games, right? Your guy's not going to, because of the way
It sounds like you know a lot about college baseball, Chris.
I know enough. I know enough to be dangerous.
Okay.
And I enjoyed it. I have 3 TVs, so I had triple barrel action going. there's a lot of good. It's hard to follow because there's so many good players.
Yeah.
We talk about MLB viewing that way, and I could do it because it's easy to follow. It's hard to do that in college because nobody has. If I go to ESPN and try to follow the game, you can't. It just gives you a score.
Exactly. Yeah,
I can't click on it. I can't see a box score.
game
I don't know
cast.
who's playing. I don't know who's pitching. I don't know shit. Now I'm trying to watch the game. I don't know who's batting.
It's just too massive. Yeah.
So I tuned into some Texas A&M because they're my surprise, they were the number 1 team in the country.
Okay.
They were playing Elon and losing, not Musk. But they were.
We're all losing to Elon.
They were playing, and I was like, "Oh, let's watch!" And all of a sudden, they just turned it on. So the atmosphere is awesome. So they do this whole thing. If you're a pitcher, and as you accumulate balls, so if you get to like ball 5, they'll just chant ball 5, ball 5. So they were yelling ball 6. I thought they were yelling bullshit. I couldn't tell, but now I know what they're doing.
Gotcha.
It's cool.
Yeah.
But it's Texas A&M. They're kind of weird. But
that's a cult over there.
they
for
also
sure.
have a stud, Jace. Well, I see names I fucking butcher.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You're doing really good with names and words.
He's a top 5 overall pick, supposedly consensus. He had 3 home runs over the weekend.
Lord.
I missed every fucking one of them. Like I want to watch it, right? And again, everybody's tweeting stuff like guys hitting bombs. Their metal bats are going that much further.
Oh, yeah.
These guys are good players. They deserve to be recognized. I want to recognize them. I want to watch. Somebody tell me how best to consume it. Because all those Clemson games, I couldn't watch. It was on fucking Flow Sports, whatever the hell that is.
Oh,
if you think I'm paying for that, I have ESPN. I got a ton of games there. That's all. That's the best I could do. So sorry, Coach Backich. Sorry, Cam. Sorry, Aiden. I did not get to watch. I did follow closely via Twitter. But we need to get somebody on, I think.
Yeah.
And I don't know who.
I definitely agree. And I do wonder how interested our listener base is. Are you Major League Baseball
if you don't want to
only?
hear it, tell me.
Yeah, but I say if you don't want us to go down that rabbit hole, because it is a rabbit hole.
Oh, you can. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
People, just like
we still might, but we're not going to bring it here if you don't want to hear us talk about
correct. Just like we are, we're Major League, and this is what we care about, and this is what we want to talk about.
100%.
There are people whose lives revolve around college baseball.
Yes.
And everything about it.
Well, Chinook Cedary is very, very, very
Yes.
big in the college baseball scene.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I'm talking. There's 30 teams, and at some point, they're going to get their fair share in the beginning of the season, right?
Yep.
Every team. But at some point, I'm no longer talking about the Marlins. I'm not talking about the White Sox. I'm not talking about the Rockies. Well, in college baseball, you got like the Charlotte 49ers because they have some stud and they're going to make the tournament.
Right.
You have Cal State Fullerton's a huge deal.
Eastern Carolina that won a few years ago. Not Eastern Carolina. Coastal Carolina. Right. Yeah.
Eastern Carolina is good. Who's it? A Marlins player, Kobe Mayo, retweets them all the time. So, but again, you have all these teams, all these players, all these personalities, all these different things that they do, and it's just like I want to be in, and I do, and I somebody get me into it. I'm gonna try and reach out to a couple people, see if we could get them on. I don't even know where to start, but I'll find somebody. And they're gonna get me because there's a tournament coming here too.
Yeah.
Michigan State comes here to play.
Yeah, so the owner of the Greenville Drive, which are the local minor league team here, we're a high A affiliate of the Boston Red Sox, but the owner is a Michigan State grad, and so he brings Michigan State down all the time, and those teams like Ohio State, Michigan, like a bunch of
who's coming this year.
Yeah, so he brings a bunch, and that's always fun when you can go. So all right,
my spiel. I want to like it. If you want me to like it and you want us to talk about it more, let me know.
And we'll dive in.
I'm still going to dabble whether or not you want me to, but I just won't talk about it here. I'll find another avenue in which to talk about it.
I think that's fair. Okay. I'm with you. We'll see what they tell us, we'll go from there.
See.
Final thing. Chris, divisional preview series.
Yo, we're almost here, and it's close.
I can't wait. So for those of you who have been with us this entire time, every year we do a divisional preview is where we get other podcasters and friends to talk for 2 to 3 minutes about their team, what they're excited about, what they think is going to be the result, and then Chris and I react to it. We are going to be doing that again this year. Chris has already started getting the roster together, but we're close. So if you're interested, please let us know. But our deadline, Chris,
is March 7th. That is a Friday.
That's a Friday.
So
yes.
if you are submitting, you already know I've reached out to you. I will need submissions by Friday, March 7th in order for us to record everything.
Yeah, so the goal for us is to record that that weekend and then release again Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And these are all division by division previews. And we're really excited. These are some of our favorite episodes to do. So can't wait to go through that. Now, Chris, name the teams that we need for sure. Like, we just don't have any leads.
Right now,
yeah.
I don't. I would say the Rays. I do have somebody I could reach out to, but I haven't yet. White Sox, same thing. Angels, I am going to say that right now. I've gotten no contact recently, so we're working on that. Cubs, Cardinals, we did not have anybody last year.
Yeah, Cardinals were absent last year.
Giants, we need somebody, didn't have last year. And I think I should be good everywhere else.
Okay.
I don't have them filled out because I didn't ask anybody yet, but Phillies, Yankees.
Cool. Okay, so go through that list one more time. Who do we need?
Full list. Rays.
Yep.
White Sox.
Yep.
Angels.
Yep.
Cubs.
Yep.
Cardinals. Giants.
All right, so 6. So if you are a fan of any of those 6 teams, please reach out to us, and we'd love to get you on the show, live react to what your thoughts and expectations are, and just join our community of baseball fanatics. So I think that's it, Chris. Anything else you want to say?
I don't have anything.
All right.
I think we covered everything as of now. One call out I'll make is our boy we've had on, Chris Clegg. I don't know if he's on site at spring training or not, but every day he's been just posting just a bullet list of everything that happened, and it's incredible.
Okay.
Like, I just read today.
Such a great follow.
Holy shit. I was like, so give Chris Clegg a follow. Like, I'll retweet. I liked it, but I'll shoot it a retweet. But he was pretty on top of it. So just for your day-to-day stuff, because it is tough with, us doing it every 2 weeks, that things get a little stuff, but he's probably got like 13, 14 bullet points. Some stuff is a little like Owen White being picked up by the White Sox off waivers. I don't know if anybody cares about that, but it happened, and he talked about it. What else does he need to know? Trout, yeah. So if we read his report, Joe Liddell is going to be the center fielder.
Oh, well, there we go.
So again, just stuff like that. Let's see. Kumar Rocker might not make the rotation. Just shit like that. So make sure you give him a follow too. I'll retweet it from our end, but just there is information from so many baseball people. Like, this community is huge. So, we try to keep in touch with as many people as we can. We hope that you keep in touch with us.
Yep.
We're trying to keep in touch with you as well. We'll say it a million times. If there's something you want us to do, something you want to see, let us know. We're willing to give it a go at this point. We do have, we keep teasing it, but this weather sucks even in South Carolina.
It's been bad.
We do have some big plans once the weather breaks. So you'd be looking at your, YouTube, Instagram and stuff at that point. But other than that, I think we're good to go.
Sounds good. Well, until next time, my name is Andrew.
I'm Chris.
And this is the Coach's Sons Podcast.